Central Ohio, come on, let's get it here today. City League Sports Show. Here we are in the Legacy Lounge, and we got these Scots boys from Walnut Ridge High School football joining me in the Legacy Lounge. Right now, we got Head Coach Rob Wheelwright. We got QB Marquis Lucas. We got running back, defensive back Dominic Carter, all in the studio. This is going to be a special show today. We're going to start over here. Quarterback, say hello, say your name, say hello to everybody out there.
What up, y'all? My name is Marquis Lucas, starting quarterback for Walnut Ridge. I just want to shout out my family, friends, team.
We're not doing shout-outs yet, man. You can't jump. You just saying hello. He was about to give his whole spiel, Coach. We're not giving your whole spiel at the top of the line. We're just saying your name, saying hello. We're going to jump over here to this young man. Go ahead, say your name, say hello to everybody.
What's up, man? My name is Dominic Carter. From Walnut Ridge, Columbus, Ohio.
Come on there. Look, Walnut Ridge, Columbus, Ohio. And look, so hey, listeners out there, in the post part, the pre part of the show, Dominic Carter just told me about 30 times, my name is Dom. My name is Dom. And then as soon as we go to introduce him, he says, Dominic Carter. He done got a little stiff on me, Coach. He done got a little stiff on me to start off. Coach, say hello to everybody.
Hey, how y'all doing? Rob Wheelwright, head coach at Walnut Ridge.
You're more than head coach at Walnut Ridge, right? So we're gonna start with you, and let's dive right in. Let's get it going here. This is your first year, head coach Walnut Ridge. You're an alumni, graduate, Walnut Ridge. Mm-hmm. You go off, and we're gonna get to some of your legacy and time also. You've been on the show before. So I've known you and your family, had you and your older brother on the show together a while ago, which was a magnificent show for me, right? But let's peel back a layer right now to just start it all off. What has it meant for you to come back and be the head coach at your alma mater, man? What has that meant to you?
It's meant so much. Just being back in my community, being back in the building. And getting to see kids that, grow up in the same area that I did.
Yeah.
Get to see, coming from where I come from. And, for us, Walnut Ridge is huge on alumni. Mm-hmm. So me being an alumni, coming back to whether that's games and stuff, even when I was coaching at other places, I always would come back and then have an opportunity to be the head coach, man. That's, I always looked up to my former head coaches at Walnut Ridge.
Certainly. You sit in this seat, and we're going to get to the success of the season, right? Because that's the fun stuff. That's the shoulder shake stuff. But you come back at a time where, okay, now all of a sudden, you're looked at differently. Head coach seat is a little bit different, right? So just give everybody a little peek in some of your growth in the first year as being the head coach.
It was a huge transition from just being an assistant coach and being under my brother Mike, just kind of learning the game and, me coaching Division II as well.
Yeah.
And taking a back seat. And now just being the head guy now, a great quote that I used this year that my brother used to tell me was like, assistant coaches make suggestions, head coaches make decisions. So that was just something that I always viewed that, and it's good to hear people's opinions and their suggestions, but at the end of the day, you got to make those decisions because it's your team.
Yeah. I like that, and so for all of our listeners that don't know, Coach Wheelwright here is the younger brother of Coach Mike Bell, Columbus East High School, and we'll talk a little about family and stuff here in a moment. Let's jump over here to your quarterback. So one of the things that this young man didn't say in pre-show was he didn't give his nickname. And everybody really knows you as Deuce, right? Don't most people know you as Deuce? You haven't said Deuce one time to me. So today, am I calling you Marquis or am I calling you Deuce today?
It's the Deuce Show.
It's the Deuce Show. He done turned it into the Deuce Show. It's the Columbus City Show, but it's the Deuce Show for you. So Deuce, let's talk about just the responsibility that coach provides you. He comes in, he puts the football in your hand. And being an offensive-minded coach, what was the season like for you, man? Give everybody a little peek to it. And we gonna, as soon as you talk, we're gonna get into the season. But what was the season like for you, being under center and Coach Wheelwright being the guy at the helm calling the plays and whatnot for you and leading the team?
Well, coming in day one, me being the starter last year, coming in, him putting the footballs in my hands, having to trust me having to trust him and build the relationship we had to build because I never played for him. So it was just coming into a new team and kind of trusting me because I knew these guys better than he did. So it was like, you the starting quarterback, you the leader. If this ain't the calls I make, you can make too. So it was kind of just building on, and knowing that I had a lot of responsibility, not only as the quarterback, but on and off the field as a leader and just playing the game.
I'm about to throw a tough question at you, and I'm going to see if you get this one. And I'm not trying to trick you, but it's a tough question. Are you the leader because of action, or are you the leader because of skill set?
The leader because of action.
Okay. So I'm glad you said that. I did that for your coach because I want coach to be able to lean on you now for the rest of your days. See, because there's lots of leaders in sports, right? And some people are leaders because of their skill set. I'm just better than you. So a guy gets to kind of lead, or a gal gets to lead because they're the best sometimes in the room, not because they're actually doing the actions that would make them a leader. What makes the best leaders is when a leader who has the skill set, which you have. I think a lot of people will say around Central High, you're a talented young man, right? A lot of people say every time somebody, dudes, he does a little this, does a little that. You're a multi-sport student. But then there's leaders who sometimes are guys that never even, there's some schools where the captain of the team is the guy who never plays it down, right? Because they're the leader in their actions every day. So I'm glad you shared that. Now this is where we go. You all come off really what was a phenomenal season. Your regular season this year, you go 10-0, right? And so you're running through team after team, and you had your fair share of challenges, but you built upon this really successful season. So I'm gonna come to you, young man. Dom, as what you told me in pre-show, right? Yeah, Dom, we get to you now. So Dom, tell me a little bit about being, Walnut Ridge Scott, man. How was it for you this year? And just tell me how the season went in your mind. From the running back, defensive back mindset, right?
All right, so for me coming in, my first and only year, I really had to show, put in more work, because ain't nobody else they ain't gonna let nobody just get in there. So I really had to take it into my own hands to really prove myself. Yeah. So it's like he said from day one, you just.
Hey, radio listeners, pre-show. He was loose.
Whoa.
All right. Okay, come on. Let's get him a little bit loose again, Coach, right? Because wasn't he loose before?
Right,
he was loose. Action. We on now. Now you done got a little stiff on me. So you come in, you come in, you're enjoying the season, you're having a good time? Yeah.
It's like you said, though, all I got to do trust. I trust him. That he gonna do his part. He just gotta trust me back to do my part, and that's what we did.
Okay, let me ask you this question now for you. Give us a memory from the season. What is a moment or something when you look back that you say, man, I really enjoyed that? Did you have a significant run? Did you break a tackle? Did you do something in the game that you remember that's a good memory for you from this past season?
All right, let me tell you. Practice, man. Nah, I'm about to tell about when I got off that. It was Linden game.
Okay. Linden game, maybe week 3, 4, something like that.
Game
week two. Week 2. Okay.
So this is my first game really playing running back. It was my play. I'm I'm just about to run through whoever. Do you feel me?
Yeah.
Ran over the lineman for then. And little boy too.
And so for that moment, is that when you knew, Coach, when you saw that play? Did you remember that play?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
It was a tough play. It was a clutch moment, too.
Okay.
I think it might have been first or second down.
Yeah.
We trying to put the game away.
4th and 5.
Yeah.
I remember I played like it was yesterday. Yeah. It was 4th and 5 on our 40-yard line, and he broke loose. That's right after I had fumbled.
All right. So it was a tough game, and he just ran through a guy. And he just ran through him.
After that, it was up.
That was like welcome.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm here to play now.
Now you know. Okay, you get it a little bit.
Yeah, he's starting next game.
Yeah. So let's stay there, Coach. You come in and you're trying to get guys. So let me share everybody a little bit of your history for those that don't know it. Played at Walnut Ridge. You go to Wisconsin. You play in Big Ten country. You have a great career. And we don't have enough time, right? Like, so people who want to look it up, go back and look at the other show, right? And you can hear a lot of your success. But how do you get these group of young people today to understand what it takes? Because everybody wants what you got. Everybody wants your seat, right? Everybody wants to have that as an experience. If you're a kid playing sports and you got a coach who played big time Division I sports for whatever the sport is, kids want that.
Right.
So how do you instill in them that, hey, look, I've been there and here's the path?
So for me, it really started like day one, like getting these kids to buy in. So whether that was us doing like little retreats, us going somewhere, us working out together, outside of like the green grass.
What does day one mean for you? Because for some listeners, day one might mean the first game or the first day of practice.
The first week that I got hired.
Okay, there you go. So that's day one in your mind, right?
First week I got hired, we was already in the weight room, 3 or 4 guys.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So of just like getting guys in there, getting them to buy in, getting them to understand who I am as a person, not only as a coach yet, but just getting them to catch my vibe and understand who I am and what this means to me.
Right.
And I think we started doing that. And for these 2 guys of like, I had to get them to trust me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Them to understand like, hey, I know the game.
Certainly.
I took this path and I want you guys to be better than me. So take my path, but do the things that I did, that I needed to do in order to get to where I really wanted to be at. And I think these 2 guys have done it. I mean, the majority of the team, the entire team, bought into what I wanted. I mean, and then getting these guys around, individuals that played in the NFL.
No doubt.
Like Malik Harris.
You played in the NFL.
Yeah, me. Myself, Malik Harrison, Derek Forrest, Melvin Gordon, Austin
Your older
Traylor,
brother.
Ernie Wheelwright.
Yeah.
Like we had at least 5 NFL guys on our sidelines and our practices coming up and speaking to these guys, teaching them the ropes, whether that was football, whether that's about life.
Right.
And that's all we try to do, just pour into them so they understand that it's bigger than football, we a family.
Yeah. Do you all know his football pedigree? Do you get it? Do y'all know it?
Yeah.
So you understand his grandfather was a bad dude, his dad was a bad dude. You get like football, you know what I mean? It's like if it's a family that knows football, this is one of them, right? Like, I mean, they can sit down and talk the game with you. So let's come back over to you, Deuce. You played this season, and now we're gonna get into some of the awards and stuff. Coach will get to you in a moment, but you have an accomplished season. Team goes 10-0. You get named the district offensive player of the year. So as you start to see some of these accomplishments, what does it tell you have to do next?
Work harder.
Okay. Is that the mindset to say, hey, look, here I am now, got to work harder?
That's just a step to where I'm trying to go.
What does working harder look like for you?
On and off the field, school, practice, at home, everything, just being on top of everything. So now down the road, when I get to college and stuff, it's not new to me. It's just clicking. Yeah. You all have a pretty good opportunity in having somebody that's walked it and talked it, right? Being named Offensive Player of the Year is certainly a very significant and well-deserved award, right? Having seen you all play. So Dom, I come to you. You're named first team All-District running back. Tell me a little bit about your history of football. Who'd you play for? When you're a youth, who was you running around for playing with in Central Ohio?
Shout out to the Gators, Gator Nation. I played on the Raiders with my boy Deuce.
Y'all played together in youth football, Pee Wee football. Okay. What side of the city is the Raiders on?
North side.
North side. Okay, so Raiders is on the north side. And who else did you play for? I don't know the Gators.
Gators is it was like I was.
Technically an East Side team.
That was like 2015.
Yeah.
Okay. Where they at? What side of the city are? I mean, you said East Side. Where do they practice out of?
Over there by Napoleon Broad. You know that by the McDonald's.
Oh, okay. So you played with the Raiders. You played with the Gators, and you two knew each other, right?
Yeah.
So you played together. Has football always been your thing?
At first though, because I started football when I was 4 though, but I remember I ain't want to run the ball at first. Okay. And then he told me, he was like you got to. So I just after that.
Who took you out there? Who got you started in football?
Who got me started?
Yeah. Who gets the love? Yeah. Who
my dad. My dad. He put it on me though, but my coach, Ron, he really encouraged it from the Gator stuff. So it just. it grew on me. I just fell in love with it.
Okay. So you both are guys that have played football for a long time. And so, Coach, when you look at the team, and you got a lot of talented players, right? You got guys that are doing a lot of special stuff. How do you continue to build it, right? Because every school, I would say, has 5 to 20 kids that probably should be out there. Mm-hmm. Is that a fair comment? Even at Walnut Ridge, there's some guys walking the hallways that probably should be out there playing.
For sure, I think for us, I mean, the success will bring more people.
Okay.
I mean, just coming from a good football season, I mean, I think we got over 40 kids on the basketball team. So it was kind of like, we go hand in hand and just trying to get people to be involved with sports in general. So
right.
It's bigger than the football piece, but the football is the big dog. So it kind of. It navigates everything else. So us having a good season, basketball, having a lot of kids come out. I know Coach Chuck said this was probably one of the biggest groups of kids he had that tried out for his team. Yeah. So, I mean, that's always a plus when Ridge is winning in that aspect.
So as you look at it, then what's the plan moving forward? So you kind of, this is short term, season 1 now. Check us in the books. You put an undefeated season out there. Now, what's the plan as you move forward and you say, hey, look, this is where we goal setting at?
I think we kind of, you bring up the drawing board. And I mean, for me, it's just short-term memory. Like, of course, like I told them the other day, we had a football meeting and just to kind of regroup again. And I talked about I was excited about being the coach of the year, but I mean, I'm on the year 2. Yeah. It's time to get to work.
Right.
It's time to, the things that we weren't as good at, let's fix those, let's correct those. And again, I still want our seniors to be involved with them.
Yeah.
So whether that's, the seniors still going to the weight rooms,
right.
Seniors still coming around because them guys led us this year. Yeah. I mean, and then next year we have a huge senior class, a lot of juniors are going to be seniors, and it's time for them to step up. And
right.
It's time for them to, take over their team. I mean, we talked about that throughout the entire season of each class having their own responsibilities, and then eventually, you working your way all the way to the top.
Okay.
Sense of urgency starts from top to the bottom. So
yeah,
starts with me, seniors, and then it works its way down.
Deuce, you're a junior. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Have you already, even as coaches talking about it, do you feel that shift? You're a 2-sport kid, so like in basketball, per se, you're still a junior, right? Like, I know being a leader, but from the things that coach is saying, can you already maybe feel some of the shift of now,
yeah.
I'm a senior. Do you feel some of that?
Oh, yeah. Like day 1, soon as the season ended, a couple of days later, I started to feel like it's really about to be my senior season. Like, it's really coming to an end with the high school football. But luckily, I'm more than likely had a chance to play at the next level. So it was kind of like it's senior season, time to buckle down. Yeah. Become the best version of me this year.
Okay. So let me ask you this question, and I don't know, I'm gonna put Dom on the spot a little bit in a moment. No one's senior last game, unless you win a state championship, is ever rewarding, right? That's my opinion, right? I remember playing my senior year, and I've shared this story before, but before I share my own personal story, when you looked at your senior teammates, what did you see on that last game? When you all lost your game, the season's over, what did you see? I'm looking for a reflection is what I'm looking for. What did you see that night?
I seen a lot of hurt feelings, a lot of down, but at the same time, a lot of them was still head high. Yeah, because a lot of them went out with a win, 10-0, made history.
Certainly.
So I feel like a lot of them was just held high.
Yeah, Dom, how'd you feel on that last game?
I ain't gonna lie, I was sick.
Did you cry?
Yeah, I cried. I ain't cry.
That's okay because I cried on my last game. I'm asking that. And I share that to say, especially with underclassmen, you get this one little snapshot of a moment, right? I remember my senior year in high school basketball when we lost. And me and the other 2 or 3 seniors are in the locker room after the game. We crying, we upset. It's over, right? And that's a tough transition for a young person. And I think sports probably helps you learn the lesson better than most things, right? And I remember, and still to this day in the locker room, some underclassmen was, they're kind of laughing and smiling and they ready to go out and maybe, talk to some girls or get some popcorn. I don't know what they was thinking about doing, right? But I remember thinking to myself, like, man, if these dudes don't shut the heck up and get out, like, I'm frustrated because they didn't understand the moment. I've since learned as you get older, I share with underclassmen, right? The moment that you don't understand, I was like that as an underclassman, right? I didn't get it. And I wish someone would have told me this lesson, but you get to hear today, at least the lesson that I believe is partially important. Don't leave anything on the table, right? So when you become a senior, it all comes crashing down to an end, right? And some people have an opportunity to go on and maybe do some other things in sports, but when it all comes to an end, you don't want to have that feeling that, man, I could have did a little bit more. I could have did a little bit more in the classroom. I could have did a little bit more in the weight room. I could have transitioned. When I was off doing this, because at some point it just stops. Right, at some point it just stops. So, Coach, now I'm going to come to you. You shared it, but I'm going to ask. I'm going to share it. City League for us this year, I think we had a pretty successful season across multiple teams. We have 3 coaches of the year in the district this year at Division II. I think it might be 2, 3, and 5 or something like that. I don't remember the exact numbers. 2, 3, and 4. So your older brother is a Coach of the Year award. A team you all mentioned, Coach Mock over at Lyndon McKinley High School, Coach of the Year award, and you Coach of the Year award, right? So, what does that honor say to you for your fellow coaches across Central Ohio to say, hey man, we think that what he did was a notable season? What does that say to you?
It just shows, man, hard work, and it goes back to like just pouring into it. And just giving these, I told the kids that I'm going to empty myself. So after the season, I'm done with y'all.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give y'all everything I got. And I mean, my coaching staff did an amazing job throughout the entire season. Game planning, practice, film studies. I mean, I think we nailed it.
Yeah.
I mean, and we have a lot of guys, and we had a lot of people around that's been on that collegiate NFL level. So I mean, we're teaching the kids the best stuff.
Right.
And it's not rocket science. It's not no secret what we teaching them. It's just stuff that we've learned over the time of us playing and us being around other coaches. So I mean, they did an amazing job in helping me to become a Coach of the Year.
Yeah.
I mean, and these guys winning games.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
So as you all sit here and you say, hey, look, we got a Player of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year, we got a Coach of the Year, we got first team guys. Can you think back? Do you remember thinking back as players to when Coach said day one? Can you remember day one?
Man, I can remember day one like it was yesterday.
Okay, well, tell me about it. That's what we want to hear. That's what the listeners want to hear. The listeners want to hear your version of day. And this is a safe space. Hey, look, Coach can't make y'all run sprints today. There ain't, you know what I mean? You ain't going back to the gym and no push-ups. So what you tell us about day one?
Shoot, day one, when I first heard he got hired, I was a little, I don't know, new team, building a new coaching staff, I wasn't really on board with it yet.
Okay.
So kind of day one, I remember him finding me in class and was like, just telling me it's time to work. The ball is in your hands.
Okay. You came to the building and found him in class after getting, so then you came to the school one day and said, hey man, or were you already in the school?
No, I came to the school.
Okay.
I was at a different school.
Okay.
And just took my
took your day and came over and said, let me go meet some guys.
Let me go meet them.
I ain't gonna lie though. When I heard that he was coming, I was like, yeah.
Okay.
We got it.
Excited, yes you did. So that's an interesting encounter, man.
Got it.
To come over and see you and say, hey man, let me just introduce myself and say hello to you. What did that meeting mean to you as a kid?
It showed me that he was dedicated, that he was on it from day one.
Yeah.
He could tell he was trying to make me better from day one.
Yeah.
Because ever since then, been working together in the weight room, constantly just putting in the work, and it showed. Going 10-0, Player of the Year, something I wasn't really on my mind at first. So now it's time to get better for bigger goals. We always talked about the Offensive Player of the Year is cool, but number one goal we always sat up and talked about on the phone before games, after games, is Mr. Football.
Yeah.
That's my number one goal coming out of high school, is to get Mr. Football.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's been our goal since day one.
I certainly love that. I'm stuck on the encounter. And I say this because those are the moments that I think you remember for a lifetime. Like, coaches hear me talk all the time about the relationships and the little stuff that's important. You'll be an adult man one day, and you'll remember that. You'll remember that your coach came and said, "Hey, man, let me introduce myself, pull you out of class, say hello to you." So Don, you come over. You're new to the school, and so tell me about Coach's brand of football. Is it? I mean, when everybody got their kind of thing. Is Coach's brand of football? Was you comfortable in that setting, or did you have to maybe make some adjustments to be able to compete and be a part of his vision and his team?
I mean, like, personality, it was like we like family.
Okay.
That's how. But when I first met him, though, I was telling him, like, I'm about to come to Bridge, you feel me? Running back. Like, he was like, all right, but he wasn't really seeing the vision, though. So I just really had to show him that I was about it. Talk is cheap. Just had to show him.
Tell me your brand of football. Now, tell me the type of back you are. Are you just a pounding?
Oh, me?
You got.
I play smash mouth football. I'm coming at you. I mean,
is that his game, Coach?
But I'm run you over. I like contact.
Yeah, he not the fastest, but he scored touchdowns. And
he ain't shying away from.
He ain't shying away from no heat.
Yeah, DB's better have their chin strap on.
They have to.
Literally.
Yeah.
They have to. He running hard. He running hard.
Yeah.
He downhill. And, I mean, he can make somebody miss. I mean, he really looked like he just slippery out there. Like, nobody really want to tackle him for real.
Yeah.
They just slide off of him. And all of a sudden, we throwing up our two hands talking about touchdown.
Yes, indeed. I say that now I want to we're going to go back to the season for a moment, right? When you look back 10-0, and this is not to disrespect any singular opponent.
All right.
But who was that game or who was that opponent where you said, man, we at halftime and the coaches is huddling like, hey, man, we got to figure it out a little bit. Was there a game like that? And I don't know. I mean, I don't know all your scores.
I got one.
Okay, come on, give it to us.
It's only right you start off with MF in overtime. That was the only game we went into overtime. And it was shaky. Yeah. 20-14 game. It was cold. It was new to us, so it was kind of like we had to buckle down. It was overtime. We got the ball out the gate, had to score, and then we had to get a stop steal to seal the game.
Certainly.
I'll say Afro.
Okay.
For sure.
So no, but that's good though, because you know. So and I'm curious to hear what you're going to say, Coach. But before you say it, I think that's good because what it says is that during different moments, guys are having a different reflection. So it like in his mind saying, look, okay, we out here playing Afro. So his experience is, okay, we approaching them. Your experience is saying maybe Marion Franklin, we going to overtime. But I'm curious, head guy, what's your mindset?
I know what he gonna say.
No, so I mean, we had some good games, and I mean, for us being like a newer team and having some guys that we wasn't really used to winning.
Yeah.
I think a lot of them games was tough games.
Yeah.
But I feel for me was the Northland game.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like for us, we that was a great defensive game.
Yeah.
Offense struggled. We had over 1,000 penalties. And it kind of showed me, it was like, okay, if we clean up them penalties, nobody's going to be able to stop us.
Yeah.
And I think throughout the season, with the first 2 or 3 games, we had penalties and, we kept teams in the game and, fumbling, making mistakes. But, game 5, game 6, game 7.
Deuce was out there Heisman posing running a couple of times at the beginning of the season.
Oh, yeah.
I say that jokingly, Heisman, because he had the ball way out here sometimes. He had a couple fumbles. I think I was at a game or two. And I felt your pain as a player. You know what I mean? But I certainly could see how those can be moments where you say, hey, look, we got to clean that up, right?
Yep, and I think as the season progressed, I think we just got better and better. And I mean, the games became a lot easier, even with the mistakes. Right. I mean, like if we had mistakes, and I mean, it came back to bite us in the end because we had mistakes in the playoff games. But throughout the season, I mean, we won games 38 to whatever, and we had 4 turnovers.
Right.
So, I mean, this from a coaching aspect, it was just like we got work to do. Like, we're still building. We're still growing. We're still, like, this is our first year together.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was good to see us win those games, but we always knew, like, we got to get better. We're not, you know what
Right.
I'm saying? It's like we got to beat Ridge every week.
Mm.
And that's the only team that beat us was Ridge.
Right. You say that because football as a sport, and not that the mistakes of all sports are not important, but in football, turnovers, penalties, those things can be a lot more costly than they are in some other sports, you know. And I'm not here to downplay an error, but in football that can change the game in a heartbeat. Right. So in turn, you focus on that. You say, hey, these are things that we have to improve. When you look back on the season, and we'll start with the senior here. When you look back on the season, Dom, give me in 2 or 3 sentences. The season was what? Answer that as a question for you.
For me, the season, we just had a lot of ups and downs, a lot of adversities, it's just like a lot of people going to do what they do, try to hate on us, stuff, bring us down.
Well, that's not the part I'm looking for. I'm saying when you look back and you reflect on it.
Oh, reflect on it?
Yeah, when you look back and you reflect on the season, it was successful, it was fun, it was scary. What pops into your head? I'll answer for you on my end. So I don't think any of our guests are clueless to know I'm a Walnut Ridge alum. I graduated from the school also. I walked those hallways and went to school there. I taught there at one point in my career. I'll say just looking from afar, I get to wear multiple lenses in the role that I am for the school district, right? One of them being the guy who's over athletics and those things. And then also, I'm a Walnut Ridge alumni and I get that side of it. I share jokingly, my wife is an Eastmore Warriors graduate, right? So we sit in a home oftentimes where I got to listen to my wife in my ear. It's kind of like an Ohio State, Michigan type of energy at times when they're playing each other. But it's a good-hearted fun because I want to see all of our young people be successful, right? Whether you come over from a different school or whether you're at another school someplace, I want to see all of our young people be successful. But when I look back on your season, I would say it was an adventure. It was an adventurous ride to watch you because I was curious. We had, as a school district coach, you may know this, we talked about it. I think we might have had this year maybe 5 first-year coaches. You were one of 5 first-year coaches this year. And I was curious to see how all of you were going to adapt to being leaders and shifting from that assistant seat to that head seat. So we come back to you, Dom. When you look back on the season was what for you?
It like you said, adventurous.
Okay.
We never knew it was hidden, but we had to put the work in or it wasn't going to work. We want to be 10-0 right now.
Okay.
Even though it hurt or whatever.
Yeah.
It just worked. It just worked.
Okay. Come on, what you got, Deuce? The season was what?
It was fun. Probably the most fun I'd have never had, like football-wise. I felt like I was just able to be myself and like we was able to just talk to each other as a team, as grown men. Like we wasn't arguing like no kids, and I feel like that's why we were 10-0. We were brothers. We knew each other left and right. Yeah. We stayed with each other 24/7, on and off the field. At least half the team is with each other, majority team. Even coach, he put in the time to take us places where we all together in one area, just to play the game. Literally, just to play the game, eat, watch a game, anything. Yeah. And I feel like that's why our chemistry was so important. And as the season went on, we was able to progress as a team.
It was fun. Coach, what you got? The season was what?
The season was historic. Yeah, I'll say the season was historic. First year coach, 10-0, almost rushed for 3,000 yards. Five district players. A player of the year. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? The coach of the year, adversity, hardship, the daily, city league, everything. I think this was a historic year, and I think it was good for the city. Yeah. And shout out to the other coaches that, of course, was coach of the year. Everything that we do is you just talked about it. Like, we want to see kids go off to school, and we don't really care where you go. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, we still got to play us though. Yeah. We're not going to leave this yet though. Coach talked a little bit about some of the NFL guys that are running around right now, right? You got Malik playing, you got Derek playing, you got Woods playing, right?
So you got 3 guys right now running around in the NFL that are recent graduates. We're not talking about guys that played 25, 30 years ago. It's guys running around in helmets and shoulder pads right now, playing on Sundays, right, suiting up. Is that a part of? I mean, do they know that? Did you share that with them throughout the season? Do they understand that?
Yeah. I mean, I think the first or second week of me getting a job, Julius Wood came and spoke to them. This is before he was drafted. Yeah. I think he was still trying out with different teams and stuff.
Yeah.
Derek Forrest, when we had our 7-on-7 alumni day, Derek Forrest, Malik Harrison, both came back.
Nice.
And they got to meet them and talk to them. So, I mean.
Came to practice.
To practice. And, I mean, for us, it's just like really just showing them like it's possible. Like,
right.
You guys, they were in your same seat, these same hallways, these same teachers.
Right.
I mean, they can relate to you so much.
Certainly.
So everything they saying to you, just listen to them, take it, and then run with it.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish, I had an older brother that played, but again, he was out and about, but like,
certainly.
I didn't have 4 or 5 guys talking to
real and whatnot.
Yeah, and just keep it and let me know, and I can call on them or lean on them, and that's a great feeling. And I don't even think, practicing with Melvin Gordon in practice, and he went first. Melvin Gordon,
he's a guy that's making himself available,
making it available for you guys
from almost like a camp standpoint.
Yeah, and I think they won't really understand it because at one point I had to look back and I was like, dang, like this is really happening.
Yeah.
Like, you guys are really like getting to talk to people who played it at the highest level, engage with them, and not just on the football side, but joking with them and asking them questions, and hanging out with them and being a family.
Right. Let me share a cool Malik Harrison story for you players now and all the listeners. I don't even know if Malik wants me to share this, but it's not really personal, but it's football related to everything we're talking about. Malik got drafted in the pandemic year. So there wasn't a lot of OTAs and stuff like that, okay? So he didn't even get a chance to report like normal rookies would get to do, okay? I'm driving by Walnut Ridge, and I had to go down to the stadium. This is like in the summer. I had to go down to the stadium to do something for, I think there might have been, we was meeting somebody about a fence or something like that. I can't remember what it was. And right there on the side of the school, there's this big hill. You all should know that hill. Right outside the stadium, there's this big hill.
Can't get a hill.
And I'm driving down the stadium, and there's this guy over here off to the side doing sprints all by himself up and down the hill. And I do a double take, and I said, that's Leak, right? I know him. Obviously, I know him. I said, that's Leak, right? I look over, and I said, I'm not going to bother me, because I could tell he's in workout mode, right? I go talk to the people. And on my way out, he's wrapping up, and I pull over, and we chop it up for probably 15, 20 minutes. And I said, man, so here's the question that I want you all to hear, right? I said, well, why? What's making you, what's the energy behind you being out here to do this? And he said, because we can't do all the normal rookie stuff, when we get a chance to report, I want to make sure I'm ready. I'm taking the responsibility. No one else was out there, no cameras. He didn't have his phone set up. He wasn't on IG Live or Facebook Live or whatever you kids call it. He was just out there working on his own. He wasn't looking for anybody to come see. And he came to a space that he was familiar with. Mm-hmm. Hey, look, I know I can drive over here to Walnut Ridge. I ain't beating on anybody's door to get into it. I'm just going to run this hill over and over and over again, and I'm going to keep challenging myself. I remember saying to myself, that's why he's being drafted, right? That's the reason why the guy is making it. I say that now because I want to talk about practice as we wrap it up. What was practice like? I don't want to hear Coach's version.
Man, it's a movie, man.
What was practice like? Come on, give me
new episode every day.
New episode every day.
Do homework on our.
Go ahead, Dom. You go first then, because you got excited when I said what was practice like.
Nah, because like every time though, like at the game or something, like little people come to it, they're like, yeah, we watching the little Walnut Ridge videos, like, it was like a movie. A whole bunch of chapters. It was fun.
Was practice hard?
Yes. It was hard, long, tired, but it was
Coach,
just
did
work.
you see that? I don't know if you saw it, Coach. I'm going to tell on him. I said, was it hard? He was like
we ran enough, but like he even said it. Coach Rob said he not the big on the extra running. That ain't discipline for real. We need to basically how you used to say it was. learn on it ourselves, adjust.
Yeah.
We always had to be able to adjust. That's why in games we was able to adjust. But practice, I feel like practices used to be fun. We all have fun with each
You gotta
other.
make him work harder next year, Coach.
Oh, we worked.
We just heard it here.
We worked.
No, I didn't say
Crazy,
you. I'm just saying.
But, yeah.
You see the
But that's good though, because that's how I was though. Like as a player, like practice was hard, but it wasn't that hard to me.
Get it. Go ahead and get
Like
it.
when you that
right?
guy, like it's fun.
Yeah.
And that's why I told him like hard work should be fun.
Hard work should be fun.
It should be fun, especially if this is something that you love doing. But I mean, I try to always make it fun at practice because practice get boring.
Right.
Practice be long. Yeah. We be out there for a long time. We've been running the same 10 plays over and over again.
Skeleton is tough.
Right.
Do it again.
So
Run it again.
Run it again.
One more time.
Fun.
We had days like where we had like, you know, whether that's the music, we had the 360 booth. I mean, just because, I mean, these guys
gotta have a chance to shake their shoulders a little bit.
It's the swagger about our team.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what it was in practice and everything. Our
Everybody
swagger,
got their
own type of swag.
Yeah.
Like practice, we used to do the O State middle thing right after we warm up. Do the O State middle thing. Everybody get to show their own little swag they got. So I feel like that,
and stuff.
and I feel like that was a big thing.
Even in the games, I mean, at halftime, every time after halftime, after I done, you know, then yelled at them and everything, we all come out and we
could
all
be
get that
losing.
clap. We could be losing.
Yeah.
Bro,
And we gotta
we was down.
Yeah, Beechcroft, we was losing, and we came out and we all get together and we start doing our clapping and people start dancing and people get loose because, I mean, this game got to be fun.
It's intense, yeah.
It's intense, but
fun.
it's just like.
So you got to have that moment to let yourself get into a relaxed mode. Hey, look, we've had a blast here today. I told you it was going to go fast. We got to start to wrap the show up. We're honored to have you guys on the show. Offensive Player of the Year, first team guy, Coach of the Year. You guys have had a fun season. The city got a chance to watch a lot of fun football. We're excited to see what happens next. I got to do an outro here to get us out of here, but I give all of you a last chance to say goodbye to everybody, man. So say goodbye. Share anything you might want to share that I didn't touch on. Don, we'll go first with you, man. You the senior.
I just want to basically just leave off the standard for Walnut Ridge, and I just want to thank my coaches, my teammates, my mom.
What's mom's name? We give names out on this show.
Derica.
Okay, Derica what?
Carter.
Derica Carter. You get love here today. Come on, you get love. You got a fine young man sitting here in this seat.
Then shout out Kai. Feel me? That's my little twig. I see me and him though. Like,
yeah,
I really and Lil Twan, like them
is your guys.
Yeah, my little guys who I want set the standard for.
Yeah, good stuff. Come on, what you got over here, Deuce? Quarterback one, Offensive Player of the Year. What you got, man? He done laid back. So
You see him? It's really his show now. He like,
come on, man. Give us a little bit of love. What you got?
I want to shout out my mom, Tamara Hayes.
Yeah, come on, you gotta say names. If you give it a shout out, I can't just be mom. Mom, you got you know what I mean? You got to find your man here.
Of course, she do everything. That's my heart. She do everything. Shout out my family, my friends.
Are you a good son?
Of course.
Okay.
Gotta be a good son.
When mom say it's time to do X, are you giving mom a hard time?
No, it's time to do what she say.
I love it. Okay.
Because I know down the line
I am going to meet your mom one day, and I'm going to ask her. So I just want you to know. That's why I'm putting you on the spot. See, this is on record forever, right? So you can't shy away from it. I done put you on the spot twice. I gave you one earlier, and then I gave you one with mom. So, okay, so you're giving a shout out to mom. What else you got? You got anything else?
Shout out to my family, friends, coaches, people just being there. I like to shout out, like, my teachers. Like, for being there for me. Like, a lot of them teachers has been there for me. Even, like, through hard times. Even went through everything.
Keep plugging, young man.
Yeah.
I love it. Coach, what you got?
Just a huge shout out to Walnut Ridge, the staff, the admin, the athletic director, all the coaching staff, man, the kids there.
Yeah.
I mean, we have a wonderful school.
Certainly.
We had a lot of fans at the games this year.
A lot of opportunities for you as a kid there, yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of opportunities there, sports side and then school side. And, I mean, really just a huge shout out, man, to our team.
Yeah.
Our team it was really built from the ground up, brick by brick. And, I mean, I think we excited for next year. We so excited. And, I mean, I can't wait to see what's in store for year 2.
Yeah.
So
let me say this on behalf of you, right? Obviously, I know your parents. I was a teacher when your older brother was in school, so I got to know your parents. Love your mom and dad, great people, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I'm gonna give a shout out to your dad on behalf of you.
He deserves it.
I say that because I'm obviously at a lot of games, right? And so there wasn't a game that I didn't go to, whether it be a Walnut Ridge or an East High School game. I don't know how I think your dad got a clone out there, right? Because I seen him at every game, every time, whether I was at East or whether I was at Walnut Ridge. He obviously, you all know that he loves you, but just a dedicated, figure to be in your lives, man, be out there and continuously supporting you. That's one of the beauties about being a parent. The support doesn't end, the parenting doesn't end when you turn 18.
Right.
You guys is grown adults, and he's still out there supporting you and loving you, man, and being a part of your lives. So I get it. We got to wrap up the show here today, man. But you all, go ahead, Don. What you got? Don gave me I got one more thing. Come on, go ahead. Don, what you got, man?
I just got to really shout out to my boy Tater right there, the cameraman, for just making it public to everybody and showing it on social media.
Yeah.
How fun it can be.
Nice to have somebody who's willing to give you a follow. We can't keep doing those videos. They tell us we got to get out of here.
Make it quick. They can't forget about my boy Quad, man. Shout out Quad, man. Shout out
to your assistant coach. That's beautiful stuff. Hey, look, I wish we could keep going, but we can't. You all have been wonderful, wonderful guests. City League Sports Show here. Thank you, everybody out there who listens and follows us on the show here. Catch us on Radio WCBE 90.5 FM. That's the place you can catch all of our future episodes. Additionally, find us on Apple, Spotify, whatever platform you use to follow your favorite podcast. For all of the Instagram people out there, follow us at City League Sports 614. These guys is Walnut Ridge Scotch. I'm your host, Dr. Vince Clarino, City League Sports.